Good morning, my friends. It is Wednesday, and you know what that means. It is time for weigh-in and meeting highlights. If you watched my video on Monday, I told you I was very concerned about my weigh-in this week because last week was a lot of quarantine food, as I like to call it. It was our anniversary last Tuesday, and I made Doug's favorite, which is peanut butter pie. I had a slice on our anniversary, and then I had a slice the next day, and they were 16 points each. My girlfriend made us some of her famous French macarons. I had 2 of those. My mother's best friend made us a bread pudding, and she makes the best bread pudding in the world, and I had 2 servings of that. Not the same day, like over a course of days. My niece made pepperoni bread. Drop that off on our porch. I had a slice of that. We'll talk about that when we get to the topic, the meeting topic, if I remember. Adam's girlfriend sent us her family sent us a box of chocolate-covered strawberries and a box of cookies from Edible Delights. Had some of those. So I was pretty worried about my weigh-in yesterday. I fully expected a gain, and I was fine with it. I did not go overboard on anything. Like, I didn't sit and eat half the pie. I didn't, I had a slice on our anniversary and a slice the next day. There were 8 slices to the pie. There's 4 of us here. We polished it off. The pepperoni bread, she sent over like a half a loaf. I sliced off a very thin, like maybe 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch slice, and that was my piece. I savored it. I enjoyed it. I did not eat. Everybody else had 2 like thick slices. I didn't do that. I just had enough to satisfy me and make me happy. The bread pudding, I could have eaten that whole thing myself because I love it, but I didn't. I measured out my servings, and I had 2 on different days. It's serving on 2 different days. The chocolate covered strawberries, same thing. I had 2. One day and one another day. The cookies, I had 2. One day, one another day. So while I ate a lot of things that I normally don't eat, especially all in the same week, I definitely give myself treats. Definitely. You have to, because it's real life, and you're not going to go the rest of your life without eating a real cookie or real bread pudding or something like that. So I fit them in. I just don't usually fit so many in the same week. But I got on the scale yesterday morning, and much to my shock and surprise, I was down 0.4. So maybe my body needed that shakeup. Maybe it needed to eat all but one of my weekly points for once. Because normally when I eat my weekly points, I don't lose. Sometimes I even gain. Sometimes I don't even maintain. It's just the way my body works. Between being perimenopausal and having thyroid disease, it's a little bit harder, but not impossible. But maybe my body just needed this shakeup. But whatever it was, I lost 0.4. So that puts me at 136, which is in my happy zone. I prefer 135, but I'm not going to sweat it during this time. What was I going to say? I don't remember. So anyway, there is that. And on to the weekly topic. How to reduce stress eating. I've talked about this 100 times, so I am going to try not to talk too long about it, but we'll see. How to reduce stress eating. Let's talk. Stress eating is a very real thing. It's no surprise that we might find ourselves reaching into a big bag of chips or spoon deep into a pint of ice cream when we're stressed, especially now with what is going on in the world. And while eating can be distracting and comforting, it's a temporary sense of relief that can leave us frustrated, especially when it impacts our weight loss goals. By paying attention to stress eating tendencies, we're more likely to recognize it when it happens and find a more helpful way to manage our stress and take a different path. What to do? Next time you feel an urge to stress eat, follow the steps below. Hint: this technique can work for any emotion you're feeling. You can replace the word stress with sadness or loneliness or fear or anything. So they give 4 strategies that I'm going to talk about in just one second. But I just want to say one thing that has impacted me so early on in my journey that I say it all the time, and I know you've heard me say it. It is something that my WW coach said one day, and it really resonated with me. Stress does not make us eat. It does not. Eating is our reaction to stress. Do you understand what that means? Stress isn't making us eat. Hunger makes us eat. Stress does not make us eat. It's our reaction. It's how we're handling the stress. So what we have to do, and I'm not saying it's easy, I'm not. So we have to find a new reaction to the stress. It took me a long time, but when she said that at one of our WW workshops, it just stuck. And I don't know if I heard anything else she said the rest of that night, because I just kept thinking about that over and over and over in my head. And I started coming up with a plan. And I found, for me, I stress exercise. If I am really stressed and really, really feeling it, I tend to exercise longer and harder. And I'm a runner, so I tend to run faster and longer and things like that. Yesterday, Doug and I worked out together. We did HIIT training. I did like 58 minutes of HIIT training yesterday. I was very stressed yesterday. I did like 58 minutes of HIIT training, and then ended up later in the morning doing a Leslie Sansone walk, a 30-minute Leslie Sansone. My Apple Watch didn't know what was going on with all that exercise. I think I ended up with 98 minutes of exercise yesterday, which is a lot for me because I generally do between 35 and 45. So I doubled it yesterday. It's what works for me. It may not work for you. Maybe something like yoga would work for you, or maybe something like just going into a quiet room and meditating or praying. My husband, when he's stressed, he prays. That's what he does. You have to do what works for you. You have to find what works for you. But like it said in the beginning here, if we binge eat when we're stressed, if we stress eat, we're only going to stress ourselves out more, because it's going to put us further from that weight loss goal that we're looking to go after. It's just going to add more stress and cause you to eat more. I know, like I said, it's not easy. It's not. It's something to work towards. So here is the strategies that WW gives. Number 1, hit the pause button. Put a space between the impulse to eat and what happens next to break your automatic response to reach for food. Set a timer. I love this. Set a timer. Now this says 5 minutes. I'd go a little more than 5 minutes before making a move towards the food. Try a headspace meditation in your WW app, scroll on Connect, or watch that crazy cat video that your friend sent you. In other words, distract yourself, because you're really not hungry. You're not hungry. You just want to eat because it's going to make you feel better temporarily. So do that. Say, okay, I'm going to set a timer for 15 minutes. I'm going to go do something else. In 15 minutes, I will reevaluate. Sometimes we get so caught up in doing whatever we're doing, we kind of forget about it. Great. Now's a great time. It's spring. Organize some drawers. Spring clean. Wash a window or two. Say, I'm going to set the timer for 15 minutes. I'm going to wash 2 windows. See how you feel when you're done. See if you still want to reach for that food. So number 2 is once the timer goes off, check in with yourself. Are you still having the urge to eat? If not, move on with your day. Forget about it. Just move on with your day. If you are, think about other strategies that may relieve your want to eat. Maybe blasting a favorite song, calling a family member or friend, or grabbing a journal will help. And you know what? Jump on YouTube. Find one of your favorite YouTubers, and even if you have to watch an old video of his or hers, watch an old video. Find a new YouTuber. Scroll Facebook, scroll Connect, do something. But set that timer again if you're still on the edge. Set it for another 15 minutes and see what happens. Number 3 is make a move. If one of your ideas from part 1 or part 2 did not work, and you can't think of anything that will work right now, go ahead and give it a go. Try not to go for the chips or the ice cream. It's hard because, gosh, they're good. They're so good. Try to go for something a little healthier. Or if you are going to go for the chips or the ice cream, don't pull the container of ice cream out and get a spoon. Pull the container of ice cream out, get a bowl, get your scale, and get your WW app. Scan the ice cream. Decide how many points you want to spend. Weigh it out in that bowl. Put it in your app. Put it in your day before you even take a bite of it. Own it. If you're going to eat it, you're going to own it. That's what you need to do. You need to own it, because if you don't put it in your head, it really didn't happen. But guess what? In your body, it really happened. You blew that 8 points on half a cup or quarter cup of ice cream or whatever it is. So before you put it in your mouth, do that. Weigh it out. Don't just grab the whole container. Trust me on this. Trust me on this one. And put it in your app before you eat it. And you know what? Maybe seeing that, you'll go, you know what? I'm going to put this back in the freezer. I'll wait a little bit. I know they're head games, but sometimes it works. I know I have to play games with myself. So you've tried, you decided you're going to eat it. At least you tried. You didn't just go for it right away. So that is a win. At least you tried something different. And maybe next time when it happens, you'll think about it again and you'll try again. But maybe instead of trying for 2 15-minute times, you'll try for 2 half-hour times. Whatever works, guys. Whatever works for you. And you know, like, this is what works for me, and it may not work for you, but I'm just here to share my ideas on what helps me and what gets me through. So number 4, the last one, reflect back. Did you eat or do something different? Recognize how you felt when you finished eating it, and if your urge to eat changed. Maybe you'll want to choose a different strategy next time. If you aren't happy with the way things went, show yourself some kindness. You know, I always say you got to give yourself a little grace. An inch of grace, not a yard of grace. Use this opportunity to learn, to grow, and to move forward. And that's what we need to do. Every single opportunity is a learning opportunity. And we didn't start this journey and go, okay, this is it. I know everything. I am going to be the best Weight Watcher ever. I am never going to stumble. I am never going to fall. None of us did that. And you know what? Almost 2 years into Lifetime, I still don't know it all. I'm still learning. And that's what happens. It's a journey. And there's really no end. It just keeps going. So we need to learn how to cope with things like this. And this is a big one right now with everything going on in the world. So if you can just stop and reevaluate a little bit, see how things are going, and see how you might change a habit that you don't like. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not. But every day that you make a better choice, you're going to get to your end goal. And that's going to be to make good choices. I'm not going to say we're not going to be done stress eating forever. I'm a sadness eater. And I know darn well that is why I had that second piece of peanut butter pie on Wednesday. I was still reeling from, the news that my uncle passed away, that a church friend passed away, that a community member passed away. I know that second piece of peanut butter pie, I know it was sadness eating for me. But I went with it, and it was okay because I tracked it, I fit it in. And that's the most important thing for me, is fitting it in and tracking it and adjusting my sales. Because we are not all in the same boat. We're all in the same storm, but we're not in the same boat, and everybody handles their sales a little bit differently, and you have to remember that. So that is the weekly topic for this week. I hope I have shed a little bit of light, a little bit of help. If you need anything, please shoot me an email. Oh, real quick, just popped into my head. Donna Smith, if you are watching this, I got your email asking about a recipe for the banana muffins. I hit the reply button to reply back to you. I tried 4 times and it kept telling me that your email address was not valid. How? I don't know, because that's the one you emailed me from. So Donna, I'm going to link it is on my website. You just have to search banana muffins, but I am going to link it below in this description box for you. And I'm still going to try to figure out why your email is not working for me. But I hope you're watching this. I hope you see this. And I hope you know I'm not ignoring you. So with that little side note, the recipe this week, cinnamon dolce latte. It is unsweetened macadamia milk, instant espresso powder, sugar, vanilla, cinnamon, and cinnamon sticks for garnish. I don't do coffee, so I'm not going to do that. It looks really good. I bet my boys would love it, all 3 of them, but I don't have any instant espresso powder, so they're not going to get that. Probably not until after quarantine is over. But I'm going to save that and definitely make it for them. It looks like something they would enjoy because they're certainly enjoying that whipped coffee now that I've been making for them. So anyway, that's the recipe. It is 3 points on all plans. You can probably knock down a point if you, actually, you could probably knock down 2 points if you use like monk fruit or artificial sweetener instead of sugar. So there you go. So thank you for watching. If you know anyone that this video may help, please feel free to share it with them. Share it on your social media. I certainly don't mind. And if you need anything, please shoot me an email. Leave me a comment below. And I hope you guys are staying healthy and staying safe. And if you can, stay home. Let's flatten this curve because we need to get on with life. We just found out today that our favorite beach is not going to be open for Memorial Day. Not that I would go anyway. I don't think we're going to be being around any kind of crowds for a while. Just that's my personal choice. And, you know, we'll live life when things start opening up. I just think we're going to avoid things like movie theaters and restaurants and crowded beaches just for a little while. We'll see. So anyway, that is it. Have a fabulous day, my friends. And I am not doing a full day of eating today because I am working and it's a crazy busy day. I'm hoping to do a cook with me later tonight. We'll see how that goes. And I will be back tomorrow with a full day of eating. Have a great one, guys.